Good basketball fans, it's Saturday afternoon and you're watching the NBA on 2K Sports.
Here we go.
With Greg Anthony and Richard Jefferson, this is Kevin Harlan. On the sidelines tonight, Allie LaForce. And a one-game homestand for the Warriors, as Golden State will try to recharge their batteries on their home court. And going against Denver, their first game of the NBA's regular season. Guys, they came out on top of the season series matchup a season ago, taking 2 of the 3 away from them. Jokic draws the double. Outside Curry. Green, the screen. With the shot. Curry's shot is off. So David Adelman's decided to call a timeout here. This now will give him a chance to discuss some potential changes. You know, these two teams rack up the assists. Greg, they pride themselves on playing unselfish basketball.
Yeah, both sides preach player and ball movement, getting everyone involved. It makes both teams that much more difficult to defend.
Kicks it out to Jones. Over Curry. Jones, no luck.
And usually that's a bucket for him, but look, nobody's perfect in the mid-range.
Outside Curry. Over Jones. Here's O'Neal. It's hauled in by Gordon. Here's Denver now. Now Jokic hits the front of the rim and out. Here's Curry. They double team Curry. Stolen by Jones. Pass to Jokic. In the corner, Murray with it. Shot clock at 5. The Nuggets need to get a shot off it. And Jokic throws it down.
Oh, that's just too easy for Jokic. This is why defensively you've got to get him away from the basket.
Here's George. Over Watson. A nice shot by George.
And hitting the mid-range jumper here early gives the defense just another thing to think about.
And you don't see many teams take these shots as often anymore. It's nice to see them take advantage in this area.
Murray, no good. And so Curry will bring it up for the Warriors. RJ, when you talk about Jimmy Butler, he is definitely a tone setter.
Yeah, Kevin, on the court and in the locker room, this man is tenacious. He lets you know exactly what he's thinking. Teams fear him, and sometimes his teammates do as well.
It's time to send it over now to our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Hey, guys. The Nuggets have gotten used to success. Nikola Jokic said, quote, winning is a lifestyle for us. It's really good when you're winning. Everybody's happy. Everybody wants to play. Everybody is buying into the system. I was here when we were losing, so I do not want to go back to that. Back to you guys.
They're sure good with him in the lineup. Okay, thank you, Allie.
And, folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Outside Jones. From outside the arc. Knocks down the 3 ball.
He likes to shoot from back there. He's steady Eddie for a reason.
At the top of the key, Curry. Over Jones. Here's O'Neal. Outside, George. Over Brown. And that one hits back iron. Denver in the lead. On the wing, Gordon. Still yet to score. And they double up Gordon. Warriors with the rebound. Inside, O'Neal. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. O'Neal's got his second basket of the game. And the basket by Gordon.
And there's just so much athleticism to Gordon's game. Good luck trying to contain him inside.
Jones with it. Outguarded by Murray. Here's Curry. True on the 14-footer. several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
It reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
It's stolen by Jones. And so Steve Kerr decides to call a timeout. He's going to have a discussion on the sideline. Both teams making some changes here. The Warriors leading. Pajemski with it. Outside Kerr. Over Watson. Connects on the 17-footer.
That's a guy you want taking shots. A quality offensive player.
And stolen by Jordan. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Warrior. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And from what we've seen so far from the Warriors, how would you grade them?
Aggressive at running guys to the backboard. You could tell it was part of their game plan coming in.
Yeah, it's clearly a focus for them in this one, and no question that all the second chance looks are paying off.
In GA, we know Coach Steve Kerr has been up front. In order to win, the Warriors need to take and make a lot of threes.
Well, it's the superpower of their best player. And the arrival of Jimmy Butler has provided some balance, but threes are still their best bet.
And they'll turn it over. Could not get off his shot. 24-second violation. The Nuggets trail. Poked away. Jokic draws the double. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. Now here's Johnson. No scoring in this one. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Just focusing on the task at hand, that's all you can do.
Yeah, when the game is up for grabs like this one has been, it's all about the attention to detail.
Now Pajemski. 6 on the shot clock. Curry can't get it to go. Here's Brown. The rebound by Payton.
You often expect him to convert these types of shots, but the D must have made their presence felt to prevent that one. The defense just giving him the easy look there. He's not going to miss that.
And so Curry will bring it up for the Warriors. They trail by 1. This game is finished. They'll be off to Portland taking on the Trailblazers. That will be a getaway game for them, a 1-game road trip. They double-team Kerr. Here's Pajemski. Drills the three-pointer. Pajemski's got himself on the board with 3 there. Guys, what a tight start to the game this has been.
And it's still in the first half. This could be a wild one. And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Outside Curry. They double-team Curry. Jokic with the steal. Down low. Here's Brown. Lays it up off the glass. And the Nuggets lead by 2. And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Nuggets.
From the tip, they are not making things easy on them. Lots of steals, playing disruptive basketball.
And they're making their own luck with how hard they're playing, forcing turnovers and turning that into offense.
One thing we see in this league, teams changing coaches much more often than they change the GM.
Yeah, one guy picks the players, the other guy coaches the players. Seems like a shared responsibility, but the job security, well, that's not equal.
And Gordon over to help. Lajemski with it. Out guarded by Murray. No good from Payton. Here's the Nuggets now with the ball. In the second quarter, they've given up just 3 points. And it's Brown missing.
Nice contest, a high level of energy. That's how you play defense.
Pass to George. They kick it out to Green. Now Pajemski. He's covered by Murray. And so Steve Kerr decides to call a timeout. Coach is going to talk some things over with the team. Might be seeing something to adjust.
Substitution on the court.
And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Shot clock at 3. George from deep three-point land. Good D by Johnson.
And that was a little bit of a range check for him.
Yeah, he might have been feeling himself a little too much on that one. He can hit it, but not consistent.
He's so skilled on the interior. Jokic plays with so much force and leverage down low.
And here's Jones. Nothing on the board. And Jokic with the rebound. Here's Gordon. Good, and the assist goes to Jokic. And it's a 6-point Denver lead.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
O'Neal with the putback.
Oh, big time putback there. What a great motor on this guy.
There is no one who goes after those rebounds harder. Jokic has a 2-pointer. And there's another one for the Nuggets.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
They double-team Curry. The floater. Oh, superb touch by Curry on the floater.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
Yeah, as soon as these guys feel contact, they are just disappearing like they're not even there. You gotta show some fire and keep defending.
And so Steve Kerr decides to call a timeout. He's going to make some adjustments to the game plan. George from deep three-point land. Jokic firing on all cylinders for the Denver Nuggets. For moments during that quarter, it felt like a one-man wrecking crew. It seemed he was doing everything out there. And we'll be right back after this. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. The Nuggets leading by 4. And we saw last season the Nuggets GA in the final week of the regular season making a coaching change and a shift in their front office.
A pretty rare situation. Seems like there'd been a power struggle, and rather than choosing sides, the decision was to just make a fresh start.
Yeah, these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
On the wing, Green. Golden State moving it around. Pass to Jokic. Fires from the wing. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. To the paint. Outside for George. Screen by O'Neal. From downtown. George, no good. And Watson slams it in.
Great find by Jokic. The best passing center I've ever seen.
Right side Curry. And it's Jokic with the rebound. And so it's Murray who brings the ball up for the Denver Nuggets. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Let's check in now with our Allie LaForce, who's got a story for us. Allie?
Thanks, guys. Jimmy Butler, quite the pairing with Steph Curry, and Steph said he's like the exact opposite player of me. He's dominating the paint, I'm dominating the perimeter. Butler said, I don't think I could be a better complement to him, and vice versa. They're not leaving him ever. I'm playing in so much space. Kevin, back to you.
A terrific fit. Thank you, Allie.
Not an ideal start to the second half for them. 0 for 3.
And it's Jokic in the corner. The power of Jokic. Wow.
Oh, the Joker taking over. He's had his way offensively, making it look easy.
Right, we see a lot of change in the NBA, but Nikola Jokic always seems to stay in the MVP conversation.
And not just in it, at the top of it. His ability to affect the game is basically unmatched. He dominates in just about every single aspect.
Jones, no luck.
And sometimes on defense, you can just get lucky.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
A shot by Curry, no good.
Let's just say his subpar shooting is just one reason why they're trailing in this ball game.
So David Adelman's decided to call a timeout here. He's going to take a minute here to get things straightened out. Changing it up here. The Nuggets leading by 10.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
Murray outside. .153 left in the third quarter. And Santos pulls it down. To the inside. Outside for Curry. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
That one goes. Count it. Curry's got it back down to within single digits for the Warriors. And it's the Nuggets with the ball. They've held a 12-point lead early. Pass to Valanciunas. They get a hand on it. Stolen by Jones. There's the triple. Curry can't get it to go.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
To the middle. Here's Valanciunas. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
With how he can operate on the block and shoot it, Valanciunas is a tough matchup for most centers.
2 shots.
Valanciunas hits them both. 1:02 left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Jones in the corner. George with it. Here's Curry with the three. Oh, Curry so accurate from three-point range.
Didn't get a 3 in the first half, and now he's on the board with his first triple of the game.
Here's Brown. Here's Valanciunas. Back to Brown. 5 to shoot. Banked in off the glass. Brown's got his second bucket tonight.
I like the intention, the focus, finding a way to make it work inside.
Pass to George. Golden State moving the ball around. Screen by Jordan. Here's Santos. His first shot coming late. The shot, no good. It's stolen by Curry. And so it's the Denver Nuggets ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. A look at the field goal. And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. Warriors trailed by 9. Melton with the ball. Up top, Curry. The 19-foot shot. And he nails that one right through the net. 15 points for Stephen Curry.
It just shows you how impressive Curry's shooting ability is, that he can adjust for any distance.
And so David Adelman calls the timeout. He knows every possession is critical now. us with you. Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sidelines.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear what the Nuggets head coach was saying to his team. He told his guys, let's not waste this advantage. Hold on to it. Stay aggressive. Let's not give up ground. Coach wants to see his team staying strong out there, guys.
We appreciate it, Allie. Thank you. Here's Jokic.
And that's where Green makes his biggest impact. He is a menace defensively.
They set the screen. Here's Curry with the three. It's good from long range.
And you can tell he's starting to figure things out here in the second half.
Jokic high post. Stolen by George. Outside for Curry. Denver grabs the miss. They've held a 12-point lead early. Jones for three. Cans it from downtown.
You give a shooter of his caliber that much time to seam it up? Oh, yeah, you're done.
And it's Paul George with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
And so Steve Kerr calls for the timeout. And clearly an important juncture. He's going to have some choice words with his team. Fourth quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. Pass to Jokic. Fader on the way. That one drops for him.
He's been locked all the way in from the floor, and he's the #1 reason why they're winning right now.
Curry on the wing. Over Jones. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Curry's got 7 points for the quarter. Now here's Murray. Now Jokic. Outside Gordon. Just 5 to shoot. Good! Lays it right in there.
And defensively, they're on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. Scoring breakdown for the Nuggets.
They're moving the ball around so well, guys. Quick passes, letting the next guy do the work if you don't have a look.
And another thing, the defense didn't clog the lanes. They took full advantage with their ability to attack the paint on a lot of those possessions. Pressuring the ball and making a play that created the opportunity.
And as soon as they got the steal, it was off to the races. This is the aggressive mindset that the coaching staff encourages them to maintain.
And there's the call on Jones. That's his first foul. Stephen Curry.
And look at how well Jokic uses that size defensively there with a great contest on the shot.
Stephen Curry. What a shooter.
Somebody help this man. Get this man some help out there. He's doing everything he can to keep his team in the game.
Stolen by Jones. Here's Murray. Jokic a screen. Outside Gordon. Now Jokic. Clock at 4. It's blocked by Shaq. Curry looking it over. Let's lose a 3. 3. Good.
When it is crunch time and you've got Stephen Wardell Curry, the game plan is simple. Get him the ball.
Here's Jokic. Oh, the dunk.
And I've been impressed with the unselfishness, but also getting guys the ball where they can do something with it.
His court vision has been on display in this one. He's doing a tremendous job just orchestrating the offense beautifully.
Now Curry. Cleared away by Jones. And so it looks like the Warriors will retain possession here. Here's Curry. They double-team Curry. Shot clock at 6. The long shot, no good. And so it's Jokic with the ball. He brings it up for Denver. They've held a 12-point lead early, and so they foul intentionally.
You know, give them credit for still battling here down the stretch, but I think it's too little too late.
Now, Jokic. Tries it from 16. Does not go in. Now a timeout called by Golden State. They trail by 7. Guys, your thoughts?
And I don't think they'll be able to climb out of this hole.
And I'm sure coach is encouraging them to play to the final whistle. Then they can get out of here.
Substitution for your Warriors.
So the Nuggets win it. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of that negative energy this crowd was directing at them. I mean, they turned it around and used it as motivation to close out a significant win.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now.